it's lcs.blogspot.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about possible ways to avoid breakouts. Now some of these are going to be absolute common sense, there's just going to be some great reminder. And maybe by following these tips they'll help you avoid a breakout. So the first one, and this is so obvious, but please, please, please wash your face every single night. You have to, you've got to get rid of that makeup. But making sure that you cleanse your face every single night to remove all that makeup will absolutely help you in your steps of avoiding a breakout. So find a way that works for you. Another great tip I have is to use a different facial cloth every night when you wash your face. Because think about it, you're using the same facial cloth every night, it's sitting there in the water, shower, or on the side of the sink, and you're just putting that dirty cloth on your face every single night when you wash your face again. I know that can be difficult on the budget, especially if you're a teenager and your mom's like, why are you using all the facial cloths? But places like Walmart and linen outlets will have deals and specials. For example, I know right now Walmart is running a $4 for 14 facial cloths special, so that might be something that you want to check out. This has changed everything by using a fresh one of these every single day. Again, this is another common sense item, but cleaning your brushes, cleaning your makeup sponges. If it was a perfect world and we had all the time in the world, we would clean them after every use. So something that I do is I spot clean one week and then the next week I deep clean. For spot cleaning, I like using a brush cleaner like Cinema Secrets. You can get this online. I like this because you can instantly sanitize your hands, clean your brushes, clean your sponges, and it just makes a great spot cleaner. And it also smells like vanilla when it dries, so that's kind of a nice bonus. But there are all sorts of different methods when it comes to deep cleaning your brushes. Just make sure that you do it. I noticed that for me, if I break out like along my jawline, it's because of having a dirty brush. Another tip that I swear by to avoid breakouts is to use a satin pillowcase. This one was sent to me by the lovely girls at Savvy Sleepers, and it even has like a cool little bonus pocket inside. But I've been sleeping with satin pillowcases since exactly 1997, and I have never gone back. I like using a satin pillowcase because when you're sleeping on a regular cotton pillowcase, you're going to get those creases on your face. It's going to be a breeding ground for bacteria. So by having one that's satin and then changing it every single week or just washing it every single week, that's another way that you can avoid a breakout. So we've talked a bit about cleaning. So what about disinfecting things? This may seem like an extra step, but once you get into the habit of it, you won't even realize that you're doing it. So one thing that I like to make sure I disinfect at least once a week is my phone. So that's just another way. If you break out here or here, that could be from your phone. Another thing is to check for expired makeup. And I've done a post on this before and you can search very easily for that. But for most of them, I like to rely on the little jar on the back. For example, this one says it expires in a year. However, I admit there are some products that I'm just not going to throw out. For example, my Naked palette. So what I like to do and what I would suggest to you to help avoid any sort of irritation in the eye or breakout is to sanitize those products with rubbing alcohol. You can just do a little bit of a spray on the palette itself or whatever the item it is that you're sanitizing. And for most people, they don't break out from lipsticks, but sometimes like if it bleeds onto your face, you can have that issue. For lipstick, I just simply cut off the top of it, or when it comes to eyeshadows, another thing if you don't want to do alcohol is to just make sure that you scrape off the top layer. So if you have a chalky or just a lesser quality shadow or even just a baked shadow that you want to intensify, a common trick is to add some sort of water product to it. I would suggest to avoid breeding bacteria, don't put the water directly on the product. Instead, just spray it on your brush and apply. Not all breakouts are bacteria caused. Some of them are caused by the ingredients. So this tip is to look at the ingredients. One ingredient that I've noticed that causes a lot of people to break out is mineral oil. Another ingredient that causes people to break out, which is a popular one that I love, is silica. Silica is found in primers that help give us that smooth surface. It's a product that I don't want to avoid using, so I just don't use it more than one day in a row. This tip is so hard, but it really does help, especially if you have sensitive skin. So not more than one new product at a time. It will make it so much easier to eliminate and find out what it is that's breaking you out. So for me, it's usually if I use something a week, that's when it starts to break me out. But by doing it this way, I'm able to easily eliminate and find what the product is that's breaking me out. One thing that if you break out around your chin, it's hormones, so that's something that you can't really avoid, or maybe it's your diet. I know that for me, I break out if I'm eating a lot of sugary processed foods. My skin gets really dry if I'm not drinking enough water, eating enough green vegetables, so that's something that I look out for. If I break out here, and I notice a lot of people when they break out here, it's because of over exfoliation. Either they're exfoliating too much or they're using too harsh of a product. So let's talk about exfoliating too much. If you have oily skin, the tendency is to just use the sharpest, scrubbiest thing and just get rid of all that oil. Well, what your body's going to do is overcompensate. That process isn't going to work. Instead, what I would suggest is just exfoliating once or twice a week, and then for the rest of the time using your cleanser, using something that's non-oil based. If you're going to use a Clarisonic or a brush similar to that, make sure that it's for sensitive skin. If you have sensitive skin, make sure it's for acne. And I've noticed that people that have acne will just, it makes it a little bit worse before it makes it better, and that's just your skin getting used to the exfoliation. So either you are exfoliating too much and you might want to step back from that a bit, or just wait that month or so that it takes. So that's completely up to you. And like I said earlier, I noticed that people will exfoliate with too harsh of a product. The salt scrubs, apricot scrubs, those harsh things are just going to tear at your face. There's no way I would recommend them for exfoliation. I don't use harsh exfoliants more than once or twice a week. Those are some of the tips that I use to help avoid a breakout. And while I know a lot of these are common sense, hopefully they're just some great reminders and some good habits for you to start. So have a great day, be safe, behave, and be well. Love, Elle. Bye!